The closer bugle tube's been an idea floating around in my head since the late 90s. And I sat down with Steve Dillon, and the idea I had transposed into the engineering skills with Steve Dillon, and we have made the perfect bugle tube, and the closer's it. When I was a professional elk guide, the biggest thing about calling elk is I would have to move away from my clients, physically getting up and moving away from the elk to convince those elk that I was moving away. Anybody can call an elk to within 100 yards. It's getting them that next 70. You know, you want that 30-yard or closer shot with archery tackle. So getting that bull to finish or getting that bull to close the distance was the key. In the past, when anybody's had a bugle tube, they try to muffle it, they try to, squeeze it down, they try to hide it, they'll turn the tube behind them and point it away. The problem is these elk get used to that. They get used to people moving, they get used to that sound changing. With the closer bugle tube, you can point it right at them. By the simple twist of a knob, you can change the way that tone is presented. I can blow just as hard, but make it sound like I'm leaving that elk, and it really confuses them. Very much like a standard tube, we've got corrugation here, but if you'll notice, this end is more like a trumpet or a trombone, and that's for the perfect sound quality. Inside we have a baffle that is moved by this knob, and it's just a threaded knob that goes inside and moves this baffle in and out. Not only will that change tone, but it'll change volume as well. So when this thing's open, you can get those great, but just by turning this knob, I can completely shut that airflow down. So when I'm calling that bull in close, I can completely make it sound like I'm leaving without moving, without that external movement, without trying to hide the tube, without putting the tube behind me. I used to have to run from my clients. Now I just have the simple 4 turns of a knob, and I can completely change the way this sound hits that elk. With every closer bugle tube, we send you a single reed diaphragm call. This single reed was designed to make it easy for most anybody to blow an elk call. Single reeds are great for beginners, but I know there's guys that kill 400-inch bulls every year using a single reed diaphragm, so we chose to include one with every closer bugle tube, and it's a value that most people don't recognize. When you're buying that tube, know that there's a $5 diaphragm in each case. This diaphragm is made with 4,000 latex. It's a special kind of latex that will hold up, it's durable, and more importantly, put it up to the tube. The single reed diaphragm that's in with the closer bugle tube is dynamite. It's going to make you a better elk hunter in the field. This tube boils down to 30 years of my elk calling experience. With the help of Steve Dillon, we have designed something that I really think is going to improve your time of field. You know, our time of field is so precious. We want to be successful in those few days a year that we get to go do what we really love to do. Pick up the closer bugle tube, take it elk hunting. I know it's going to help you be more successful in the field.